Good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's session on the 99X Academy Scholarship Program. There's been a lot of excitement around this topic and a lot of questions that have come in. So we actually decided to have this webinar to answer all those questions. Uh, my name is Melissa, and I'll be the moderator for this session. This session will mostly be informal on a Q&A basis. So if you have any questions at any point, please drop them in the Q&A section seen above. And we'll be answering them throughout the course of this session. So let me begin by introducing our speakers for today. Firstly, we have Kalana Wijesekara, who is the Chief Developer Experience Officer here at 99X and who basically heads the academic program here. He'll also be taking you through the application form and eligibility criteria and all of that. So please stay tuned. We also have Ishrath Raji, an alumni of the Academy program, who has successfully completed the journey and is currently a senior software engineer here at 99X. So hi, Ishrath. And last but not least, we have Pasindu Ranasinghe, current Academy Scholar and Trainee Software Engineer here at 99X, who joined us in July 2025. So welcome, and thank you for joining this session. They'll be here to give us a holistic view of the program. So to begin this session, I'd like to invite Kalana to walk us through the vision behind the 99X Academy program. So Kalana, would you be kind enough to share an overview of the structure of the program and maybe touch upon how and why this program came to be?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Melissa. So I'll start with explaining what exactly is 99X Academy. So 99X Academy is a work study program that we have been running for 10 years, and it has been a really good ride so far. So what exactly inspired us to start this program is basically to Sri Lanka has really good techies, and we have come across these techies at different stages in when we are working throughout. So we wanted to create a program where we identify these the brightest people of Sri Lanka early on, our students, and then create a pathway for them to come into the IT industry with good exposure and education that we can collaboratively offer them. So that's the entire goal and vision around this. So through this, I've been lucky to work with great people like Ishrath and Pasindu who are with us here today. So to explain a bit more about what exactly the program and how it works. So a work study program is basically where a student would carry out their education while they're working. So anyone who's selected to 99X Academy will start their bachelor's education degree fully sponsored by 99X. And they will follow that degree program in part-time while they work at 99X as interns and associate software engineers as they go. So the duration to complete the degree program, as it is a part-time program as standard, is 5 years. So currently, 99X Academy is partnered with one of the most recognized and experienced private education institutes in the country, which is Informatics Institute of Technology, IIT. So IIT offers several bachelor's degree program. So the applicable ones in our domain are, of course, the software engineering and computing. And they offer these degree programs with collaboration of University of Westminster, UK. So yeah, that's the gist of it. So students will join for the program, work as interns or associate software engineers while they go to their education. Melissa, I can also quickly brush through the the benefits that students has been getting by going to this program. Like I said, it's a fully sponsored degree. And the really cool thing is by the time these students graduate, they already have 5 years of industry experience as well. So which is great because you have both the academic qualification and the experience. And during this period, of course, they work on projects. They get exposure from engineers and so on. So that's the main benefit, and as well as like since they are working as interns or associate software engineers, they also get internship allowance as well, along with the in addition to the sponsorship for the degree program. I think I summed it up, and we'll discuss more as we go.
Yeah, that sounds great, Kalna. Also, I think a lot of the questions that we had were about the eligibility criteria and the selection process. So, would you be able to elaborate a little bit on that as well?
Yes. So in terms of the eligibility, the students who apply for the program required to have completed their A-level exams with passes for all subjects.
Mhm.
Um, and in certain cases, if they haven't completed the A-level programs, but if they have completed the O-level exams with passes for maths and English, at the same time, if they have already completed the foundation level program at IIT, they are also eligible to apply. So those are the basic qualifications. And at the time of application, they need to be 20 years of old or less. And so the IIT has their own uh, eligibility criteria that comes from the university as well. So that also includes the similar eligibility requirements in terms of education. So you can check it out on the site as well to get further details. Yeah, and I'll quickly tell you about the selection process as well,
Yeah,
Melissa. Yeah.
go ahead.
So basically, when students apply for this, they would go to a website, which I will show it at the end. So they will fill out the form, and once they fill out the form, um, we would do initial shortlisting based on the information you provide on the application form as well as the CV. And once that shortlisting is done, the students are invited for a technical assessment. So once the technical assessment is done and the students who perform the best would be selected for a one-on-one chat or an interview, which will help us to identify or like, get to know them well, and as well as it will help students to get to know the program well and the expectations. And then once those three steps are the selection process basically. So if you get through that, you will be selected for the program. So yeah, I think the deadline published to send in applications is 28th of February. And as per the schedules posted by our education partner, the degree program is scheduled to be started in September 2026, September this year, with alignment to the UK education system. So yeah, I think that covers quite a bit of the main information that you need, I guess.
Yeah, that covers a lot. Thank you, Kalina, for that. And I think like you said, you're going to be going through the form and the application process later on in the session. So for now, thank you for that overview. I think what stands out really about this program is that it's not just about funding a degree. It's more about shaping engineers over a 5-year journey. And now that we've heard about the structure and the vision, I think you all want to hear about some real life experiences. So I invite Ishrath uh, onto the screen. Um, so let's begin with you. You've currently completed the program and you're currently a senior software engineer here at 99X. If you think back to when you first joined 99X as an academy scholar, what was that journey like for you, Ishrat?
Yeah, so hi everyone. So I joined 99X as an academy intern back in 2020, and I was able to complete my degree in 2025. So even though it was 5 long years, or even though it felt like 5 long years in the beginning, it just flew. And it was the memories and the learnings and the experience that I gained at the end of the 5 years. So yeah, I mean, starting at 99X as an academy intern, it was honestly one of the turning points of my life. So coming in fresh, I didn't just learn theory at 99X. So I was immediately exposed to real world projects in the industry and also real teams and then real expectations from customers. So that learning was really helpful for me to shape up the initial few months and years of my career. So that transition of a student mindset to a professional mindset happened very fast. So very fast as in it was in a good way of fast. So normally the traditional path, it takes around 3 to 4 years for a student to become a professional in the industry. But in this case, you'd become a professional, or like you'll be given the opportunity to become a professional in the IT industry right when you start your degree. So that was really valuable exposure that I got. And yeah, also talking about how it was when I first joined. So what stood out most was how supportive the environment and the teams were here at 99X. So working with a lot of seniors, they did not, treat us like interns. They treated us like future engineers. So I was also encouraged to ask a lot of questions and make mistakes and also learn quickly. So yeah, the 99X Academy wasn't, just about coding. It actually taught me, how to become a real software engineer and also how to collaborate in software teams and how deadlines work and how to think like an engineer instead of just coding. So yeah, looking back now, that early exposure into the industry gave me a huge advantage compared to the traditional path where industry experience only starts years later after academics. Yeah.
So Ishrat, I'm sure people are wondering how you managed work and academics. How were those early months?
Yeah, so balancing both was not easy. So, but I would say it was definitely worth the hustle. So, I would say time management was one of the strongest skills I got to learn within this period. So, like I had to plan everything in advance, like deadlines and preparing for exams and also deliveries at work. So, it was a lot on my plate. So one key thing that I learned through this experience is to know when to prioritize what, especially when there is a lot on your plate. So because there was, a lot on my plate, I used to prioritize certain things over the others and make sacrifices. And after all, at the end, it has all paid off now. So, and one other point I would like to make is about multitasking. So that has never worked for me, I would say, but then there are, certain people who's good with it. But personally, for me, multitasking was not a thing. So I had to usually focus on what I'm currently doing right now so that I could give my 100% to that thing that I'm focusing right now. So that is also something that I discovered, but I'm really good at while I had to balance both work and studies. Yeah, so and something else that helped me was the discipline and consistency. So I just did not rely on motivation because motivation eventually fades. Instead, I
Yeah.
relied on habits. So yeah, habits. So basically, once I built a routine, things became much more manageable. Yep.
So it actually sounds like this program gave you more than just a degree and experience. It kind of also sounds like it gave you some character building as well. So helping you at a young age to prioritize and build discipline. So that's great. So now that you've completed the academic side as well, would you say that the degree program complemented your experience at 99X? Did working in the industry change the way you approached your studies?
Yes, definitely, Marisa. So working in the industry did completely change how I approached the degree or how I approached learning the concepts. So like instead of just going through the tutorials and the lecture content and learning concepts to pass exams, I started asking the questions like how would this work in a production system? So like where would this be useful in a real world project in production? So those questions actually help me learn things than just, memorize or like by heart things, really to understand things. So those things really help me with that. And also like working while studying, made my degree more meaningful as well. So like the concepts I learned academically started to make sense because I was applying them in real projects at work almost immediately. So if I were to, learn something conceptually at uni, the very next week or month, I would be literally applying that in a production code at work. So that, exposure of practicing while you learn was really helpful and was complementing the degree and the work experience as well. And yeah, but like even though the uni, the syllabus, it gives you, the structure and depth, the experience at work gave me more context and application. So that combination of both made, learning much more effective. So in many ways, work like strengthened my academic performance, and also I would say that academics strengthened my engineering decisions at work as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ishrat. That was very insightful. Now we could hear from someone that is currently in the program. So, Pasindu, uh, would you like to tell us a little bit about what a typical day in your life looks like, currently being a scholar?
Yes. So, hi, first of all, hi everyone. So I joined the academy program on July 2025. So approximately 8 months, but learned pretty much years worth of content within those 8 months. But for me, a typical day at 910X feels very much like being part of a real product engineering team rather than a typical student environment, because we usually start with a daily stand up where we align on sprint progress, priorities, and also the current blockers that we have. And then afterwards, it's most of my time goes into actually implementing features on the ongoing projects, understanding the requirements clearly, breaking them down into technical tasks, and also writing clean, structured code that integrates properly with our current existing systems. And aside from them, I also work on fixing bugs, which sometimes means resolving code level issues, and other times digging through different layers of logic to identify the root cause. Collaborating is definitely a big part of the day as well, discussing approaches, reasoning through trade offs, and learning from my other teammates as well. But once the day ends, the academic side of myself begins. So if I have assignments or upcoming exams, I usually allocate a few focused hours in the evening. That might involve working on coursework, revising concepts, and also preparing for submissions, which actually requires a lot of time management. And what helps is planning ahead actually. So I try to structure my week so I know what needs attention on the academic side and what needs attention on the work side. Some days are heavier than others, especially when deadlines overlap, but over time you learn how to manage that rhythm. So a typical day is really a combination of industry exposure during the day and academic growth in the evening. It's a demanding, but it's also very
Mm.
rewarding because you're constantly applying what you learn.
Nice. I think you covered it kind of, but I would also like to ask you, Ishrat also mentioned that time management is definitely a skill that you need to have to be in this program. And I see that you've made time for us today also, which probably means that you are a master at managing your time. So would you be able to tell us how you do it? What are your tips and tricks? What works for you?
Yes, absolutely. So time management becomes a core skill very quickly in this program. I usually plan my week ahead, as I said in the introduction, like mapping sprint commitments alongside academic deadlines. So if I know exams or submissions are coming up in the university, I try to prepare early instead of waiting until the last moment. Breaking tasks into smaller parts and then being consistent helps you a lot. In that case, it's not really about working longer hours. It's about being intentional with your time. And I think Ishrath might also relate it to that experience actually.
Yeah, I completely do agree with you, Pasindu. So, regarding time management, and then one thing I'd like to add a little bit onto it is that consistency, beats intensity. So that's one thing I've always believed from day one. So you don't, usually have to be the smartest person in the room, but as long as you, are fast learners and who, keep showing up and who keep trying and who keep improving step by step, you can always, beat the smartest person in the room at that specific time. So that is something that I wanted to add. Also, one other challenge, this is not exactly related to what Melissa's question was, but I'll add on to it. So one other challenge I see that many academic students or students who work while they study face is self-doubt. So usually, like, it's normal to look around and feel like the others are faster or better than you. So I used to feel that too at certain point of my life, but growth in this program and in this program 99x academic program isn't about comparison. It's about progress. So if you stay consistent, you'll be surprised how far it'll take you and how far you will be able to end up. Yeah.
Thank you. Pasindu, do you have anything to add to that? Apart from what Ishrath mentioned, did you have any challenges or learnings that you gained from being in the academic program?
Yeah, so one of the biggest learnings for me has been balancing the theoretical part and then also the practical application. Because at the university, you have to focus on the research concept side and also structured problem solving. But when you're at work, you focus on the collaboration, delivery, and also system impact. So, like switching between those two mindsets requires maturity. So, you also learn professional discipline, communication, accountability, and respecting deadlines and adapting to team culture. So, in many ways, the academy doesn't just build technical skills; it actually builds mindsets.
That's great. Thank you for that input, Pasindu. Um, Also, another question to the both of you. Do you have any advice or a message for anyone who is planning their higher education? Pasindu, can start with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So, if you're planning your higher education, what I would say is think long term. Don't just focus on just earning a degree and then think that you're done with it. Think about the environment you want to grow in. Academic learning builds your foundation, but real industry exposure changes how you apply the knowledge. The academic path isn't easy, of course, but it requires commitment and consistency. But if you're ready to challenge yourself and take responsibility early, it can significantly accelerate your growth as an engineer.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anything you have to add to that, Ishrat?
Yeah, I think Pasindu did a good job there with summarizing it at its best. So yeah, maybe what I have to add is so like if you're someone who is currently planning your higher education these days, what I would want to say is that don't wait until you feel ready. Start and then you'll become ready. So that's one thing that I had to apply back in the day too. So I was never ready for the work and study life. But once I started, I got the gist of it and I got the hang of it, and I was able to, manage both. And, I was thinking of, how long it's going to take to complete my degree, and then, the industry challenges that I'm going to face without knowing, anything at all, because we were just after A levels. So then, yeah, that is what, makes the best out of you. So yeah, just don't wait until you feel ready, but start, and then eventually you will become ready. Because I would say right now, what I know is that experience is like the biggest teacher in the tech industry. So there's nothing that could teach you better than the experience you gain while doing it. So the earlier you combine theory with practice, the faster you'll be able to grow. So yeah, the degree may give you, foundations, but the industry will give you the perspective and how to apply the foundations that you learn from the degree. So together that'll make you unstoppable. So yeah, and yeah, maybe I'll maybe leave one message or like one short takeaway for you guys from this webinar. So that is just don't starting point doesn't decide your destination, so your consistency does. So as long as you be consistent and stick to what you want to do, you'll be able to reach your destination.
Thank you so much, Ishrath, for that. And Pasindu, thank you both for actually taking the time to share your experiences and learnings. But let's move into something a little lighter with the both of you. I've decided to do a few rapid fire questions. So with both of yours, so just spit out the first thing that comes to your mind. So let's start with if you could go back in time and speak to your 18-year-old self or 19, what's the advice you would give? Quick, first thing.
Okay, I'll start. So I would tell my 18-year-old self, don't just chase a degree, chase growth, because before I was 18 years old, I was always thinking, okay, if you get a degree, you can do this, you can do that. But I was wrong. So I would just go back in time and then tell that just don't chase a degree, chase growth, because like I would tell him that pick the path that challenges you a bit. It's not always comfortable. And maybe start managing your time properly from day one. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently my 18-year-old or myself when I was 18 would completely disagree with what I have to say right now. But what I have for him is, start before you feel ready, stay consistent, and don't be afraid of challenges because they actually shape you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good advice. Then next question, what is your most memorable moment at 99X while being in the academy program? I know, Pasindu, you might not have a lot to go with, but but just tell us first thing, most
Honestly,
memorable moment.
of course, it has been only 8 months, but it was the team culture. As soon as I
Okay.
walked in, it was the team culture. The first thing I realized was I could openly ask questions from anyone, and also like challenge ideas with my seniors, and not feel judged when I asked them. So that really stood out. So it didn't feel hierarchical. It felt collaborative. So that's what I would say, like the most memorable moment yet. So like for now. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Ishrat, you've
Yeah.
you've accomplished quite a bit. So what's your memorable moment?
Yeah, there is definitely, more than a few memorable moments so far in my journey, but if I am to shortlist one or like the most memorable because it came in at an early stage in my journey, so it would be seeing my first feature go live in the production environment and the customers using it and the product owners giving feedback about it. So that excitement of knowing that you've merged your first PR into prod and it's going live and people are actually using it was beyond I was beyond. I felt like I achieved a lot there. So that was one of the most memorable moments I've had in this journey.
All right. Okay. Last question. That's so. What are the first three words that come to mind when you think of the academy program? Pasindu?
Yeah. So
First three.
the first obvious one is challenging,
Okay.
and then I would say also transformative in a way, and then
Okay.
also worth it. So those are the three words.
Okay. Worth it hyphen.
Yes, absolutely.
Ishrath?
Yeah. Now, listening to the three words Pasindu had to say, now those three words are, echoing in my head. So I'm trying to think of something
Other words.
else, but because they're actually true, those, words, how we feel. But yeah, I would say that the 99X Academy program was engaging, and because we got to engage with a lot of colleagues, people outside your teams, and also customers. So it was very engaging, and I would say that it's very empowering at the same time. And yeah, and I would like to add challenging as well, because it really is challenging. It brings the most out of you. So, but yeah, at the same time, it's very, fun, and I wish I could, go down the whole 5 year memory lane right now, but I don't think we have the time for it, because there's so many memories that I could just go on and about. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth it, like you said, Pasindu.
Well, yeah, thanks for that. That was anyway just a small test to see what you all really thought about the program. So, thanks for that. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your learnings. So now we can actually move into the application process. So, Kalana, would you like to share your screen and take us through the form and the application process?
Yes. Let's see. Okay. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You can see it now. Right. So everyone, what you can see is the website for the academic program. So it's basically what you see on the top, academy.99x.io. So just if you go there, you will go into this site, which will have again a lot of information that we covered today. You will be able to read it up. It has information, it has yeah, like experience from our past alumni, past academic students, and like the benefits of the program, things like that. And it also has this diagram of the selection process, so you can clearly see the different steps, things like eligibility criteria and things like that. So one important thing is you can click the frequently asked question. You can click that page and that will take you here. So it has questions, like answers to some of the questions that you would already have as we go through this. And if you after you go through this, if you have specific questions that is not answered here, feel free to reach us through this email address, academy@99x.io. We'll try to respond as soon as possible. So yeah, and then for you to apply for a scholarship program, you can go to this enroll button, which will take you to this form, which is quite self-explanatory, but I'll just skim through it. It asks some of your personal details at the top, and then it asks you to upload your CV. So a resume. So make sure you upload it somewhere like a Google Drive or OneDrive, and make sure it's set to be public access, so we can access when we click it. And the form asks about your academic qualification, like your O-level results, A-level results. Yeah, and then it has few questions about your technical exposure, what you have got so far, which we are really interested in because we see techies nowadays, we try things out super early, like, we start learning few languages here and there, and then we try to apply it to things, small projects in school, or like things that we do for hobbies. Yeah, so anything that you have done in terms of tech, I think those will go into the questions that you see in these areas. So if you have learned any technologies, if you have learned any programming languages, if you have created a website, if you have any links that you can share about them, add them to the relevant questions that you see here. And the question 13 is more of a formality question because, currently our program, the degree is provided by IIT. That's our current academic partner. And of course, there are a few details about your guardian, your parent, the contact number, and so on. So why this comes in is because of this scholarship program, which is fully funded. There is an agreement or a commitment that you have to get into. So it's a tri-party agreement between 99X as the academic scholarship provider, and then IIT as a academic partner, and your guardian as someone who can sign a contract on behalf of you. So each of these parties have their commitments in this program. We have to fulfill our expectations of each other. So you can get those details during the application, like the process as you go, and some of the details are also in the frequently asked questions page. And then finally, there is a preference for IT track that you might want to pick. So the obvious options are listed there. So there was also a question about what you can include in your resume. So this might be the first resume that you might be creating in your life. So like in a CV or a resume, what we would include is all the good things that we have done, relevant good things that we have done. So as a student who has completed the school, you may have your education qualifications, and you may also have your extracurricular things that you have done in the school, the different projects that you have done, the different associations you've been part of, and the different achievements, awards that you have won. All those should go in there. In addition, also if there's any tech related achievements, learnings that you have done, please do include them in your resume as well. If there is any, like, a GitHub repo, for example, or blogs that you have written, anything that's out there in online, you can also include the links as well. It will, really help us to understand all the great things you have achieved so far. So those are some of the pointers that I wanted to give you about the application process and what to include. Did I cover everything, team? I think I did. Melissa, was there anything that was not very clear that I can probably go into details?
Not that I know, but if now anyway we are going into the Q&A session. So I see that there are already quite a few questions in the Q&A chat box, but they've also been answered. But we'll go through them again for anyone that didn't have a chance to look at this, look at the chat box, and we'll read the questions and give you all some answers on some of the most basic questions. And if you do have very specific conditional questions, like Kalana said, please email us at academy@99x.io. You can find the email address pinned on the Q&A chat, and also you can find it on the website as well. So having said that, let's just jump into a few questions. Just one question that I had, Kalana, was, is age a decisive factor? Like, say I'm about 21, like over 20 years old, but haven't really started a degree? Is that like a disqualification factor? Age?
Yeah, actually, like what we have said currently as a policy is less than 20 or less at the point of application. This is mostly because of the dynamics. It helps to be in a group with similar energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, if I join a program with Ishrath and Pasindu, like I'll not never like they'll be miles ahead of me. So it's kind of bit like that. It's really like it works when you have the similar energy and like can relate to the group and be active there.
Yeah, makes sense. But if my application really does stand out and I'm over 21, is there still a possibility or room for me to get into the program?
Yeah, I think like any place, like there can be exceptions. So yeah, like because like the entire goal of this program is to bring the brightest people together. So from process perspective, from internet perspective, we'd like to see the best people coming. So definitely we'll like see and accommodate any exceptions that'll help that goal. So, but yeah, the
Yeah.
general rule is 20. Yeah.
Um, I do not see any new questions, and I think all the questions here are answered, but let me just read out a couple of them. Uh, Someone said I submitted my resume without listing my technical skills, only included the basic requirements. Is it possible to resubmit an updated version of the form?
Yeah. I think it's a fair question, and like now you have more equipped with more knowledge about the process. I think you might want to submit again, so that's fine. You can go ahead and send one more application with the updated details. So we will pick the latest application that you have submitted. Um, yeah, just don't send too many. Yeah.
Um, Also, what technical details are expected to be included in a resume apart from the fact that they've sat for the A levels? I think you answered this, but maybe just mention it
Yeah, I think
again.
it's all the good techie things that you have done. Yeah, you can include them basically.
Actually, yeah, we have a bunch of new questions also. I have completed my A-level exams and I'm currently awaiting the results. Am I eligible to apply for this program?
Yeah, I think kind of circumstances of around this A-level timing this year has put all of us in this tricky situation. Um, I think you can go ahead and apply, make a note. But the problem is for you to join in September, the university has a um, academic basic academic requirement, so that you need to have your A-level passed and successfully passed by then. So we can, on our side, we can consider pending A-level results because that's where you are right now. But you will not be able to start the degree program if you don't have the necessary qualification, and the academic institute will not be able to take you in. So that's the outcome based on your results. But yeah, you can apply with pending results.
Okay. And then we have another question. Is this program applicable only for software engineering degrees, or is there any other degree that you'll accept?
It is only software engineering and computing degrees because yeah, this is like it's the program is entirely linked to software development, and the degrees that's available is what's offered with our academic partner. So those are the degrees that's available.
Next question is, as a student who has completed Info's called induction program and who did not get an internship yet, is it possible to apply for this program?
Student who has completed the induction program who did not get an internship yet.
Info
Yes, it is possible to apply for the program if you satisfy the other eligibility criteria as well. And you can apply and you will be processed in the same manner the rest of the applicants are processed.
Okay, and I think then the next two questions are also based on haven't received their A-level results yet. What do they add in terms of results on the form?
You can probably mention because the results field is like a text field that you can type in. So you can just mention the that you have set
That
for
they're
the
still pending.
pending results with the month of sitting for the A-levels. Yeah.
Okay, I think we had one more. I have done my O-levels and I'm doing my A-levels currently finishing this year. So I'm applying with pending results for my A-levels. Am I eligible to apply? I think this is the same thing. Next one, I'm a commerce
Quick
student.
one, Melissa. Any students who hasn't sat for their A-levels yet, I don't think it makes sense to apply for this particular intake because you will be sitting for your A-levels in August this year.
Okay.
Then there will be an intake for 2027. So you are more like it makes sense to apply for the 2027 intake because if you have one set for your A-levels already, it doesn't make sense to apply for like through the A-level option.
There was also another question about whether there is another intake. So so in 2027 there will be another intake, right?
Yes.
Then I see commerce students asking if there are going to be doing my A-level students, can I apply? Can I, a commerce student, apply for this program in 2027?
Okay. I think we'll have to get back to you cross-checking this with the entry criteria at IIT. What you can do is drop an email to us. We'll get back to you on that. But anyway, if you are to be apply for 2027 intake, we'll be having a awareness session like this by that time as well. So you can get back there to clarify this. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, actually, we have got the clarification about the commerce. You can apply as well.
Another question. Fill the form, but I didn't select. I didn't select career track in the form. Should I fill the form again, specifying the career track?
No, we have clearly kept like I don't know option as well. So it's not a qualifying question. Like you don't have to worry about it. It's just for information purposes. So if you have selected I don't know, that's totally fine. It will not disqualify you or be a disadvantage at this point.
Another question we have is how many candidates will be selected for this scholarship program?
Yeah, I think so far it has been varying throughout the years, depending on the requirements and the capacity of the industry and what the same reflects within Nigerian as well. So at this particular moment, we don't have exact number for this year. And it also depends on if we can find the type of people that we would want to be on the program. They have to be as brilliant as Ishrath and Pasindu. So yeah, so the final number would depend on that.
Okay. Someone's also asked, is this program suitable for a guy who isn't much into coding?
I would go ahead and actually say no, because this program is built to create software engineers. So if coding is not your thing, yeah, this program is not for you.
We have a few more questions coming in. Someone's saying that they're doing the edXL curriculum, and I have done my A levels in 2 parts: AS, which I have completed, and I have my results for them, A2, which I'm completing this year. Am I eligible to apply?
Sounds a bit like a specific scenario. Maybe best to reach out through the email.
Email,
Okay. Yeah.
Someone's okay. That question is answered, so I will not be touching on that. I think we've covered all the questions that we've got. Is there anything else y'all would like to add? Maybe Ishrath, Pasindu, if y'all could go back and ask some questions or anything that y'all could clarify.
Not really. I think, the audience, they've got it all
Asked all
out
the
there, and I
questions.
think,
Yeah.
they've got rid of their doubts. Yeah. And if there's anything that y'all remember later, like Kalana mentioned, y'all can always email us via the provided email. Yeah.
Okay, wait. I think we have another question. I have completed my O levels and A levels, and I also have an HND. Can I apply for this program, and can I get credit exemption for the degree? I am 22 now.
No, I don't think so, like on top of my mind, because I think since you have progressed so much in your academics already, I think it might be beneficial for you to like find a different pathway which you can quickly complete your academics rather than joining this program. That's what I see from the gist of it, because you'll have to spend like extra time and so on in this program, which might not be beneficial for you. Yeah.
That is, I think that's all the questions we have so far. Sorry. Shall we wrap this up? If any of y'all have any more questions, I think the best thing to do would be to email us at academy@99x.io or visit the website. So I just want to thank everyone that joined us. Thanks for taking the time this very gloomy Friday evening. And thank you to our speakers. Thank you, Pasindu, Ishrath, Kalana. We hope that this session actually gave you a lot of clarity and confidence to think about your next steps. We hope to see you. We hope to see you at 99X very soon. So thank you. Good luck and have a great Friday.
Good luck all. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.